Hi, so there could just be one T1000. The hook is C of Jezi Isaiah 11, but it's kind of like they're Samoan, like they take on the characteristics of others in the sense of, you know, being like the ones that are born with girls' feelings towards girls, and same for the guys, and they get new bodies when they go to Area 51, and then they're like, make it in the industry or whatever. That's kind of the hook, the red, because they're not in China, they're in America, or Russia or any of those. But, and then there's the hook, which is kind of like the Samoan, like they act as they take on the characteristics of everything around them. And you know that Trump's been using the voodoo out of the spite of the French, since the land grants and everything switched, and it remained in English hands when Trump took office, and he kind of sided with the English, and but they use that voodoo, and kind of like Kendrick Lamar, he says back when condom wrappers wasn't cool. Well, the condom means French because it's the goo, it's that venom symbiote, where they believe kind of in the superhero situation where there would be a judge on Earth, like taking everybody out or taking everybody to the guillotine sort of thing for end times. That kind of relates to the Brahma a little bit. The Indian stuff is kind of like the French stuff. And that's why in America, who got along? The Native Americans and the French. And people say, don't call the Indians the Native Americans, like India, like it's related, in their symbolism and stuff. So, but back when condom wrappers wasn't cool, like there's a whole thing, like they used to show the symbolism that the hook, like Samoan, like Moana, wasn't cool. Like they weren't for them, and I don't know if I'm the only one of those or if there's many of us, but, that's why they say we're kind of martyrs, because our symbolism it won't cut off, like that we can't really kneel sort of thing. So then if you don't kneel, then you can't go to Area 51 and get, molded to be an actor or be a doctor or be whatever, whatever it's going to be that makes it sort of thing. So, it's kind of, that's, but Kendrick Lamar says that, and then it makes me think, like, well, when was this switch, like what happened, like, in the rap means kind of like those guys with Jonathan Kleck, like they cut off in the symbolism, like, just as he cuts off with his information. Like he doesn't really, or at least he didn't used to, but he doesn't find the newer stuff, like, and you, as a watchman, you always got to be on the lookout for new information. But, I struggle with that too, but that's what the rap means. Like they wrap it up, like we're going to wrap this up, like it's just over with. So, but keep a mercy mindset. And these killings in the news is all symbolism of stuff going on, I don't know what it all means exactly, but I do want to show it just to, because this stood out to me. And, of course, not saying anything against anyone, and keep a mercy mindset with all this. Don't let this be, voodoo for you or anything. Let's break the darkness, So, it starts off, this is a Gematria phrase, okay? I put it in on Gematria. Role as Marianne Summers on the CBS sitcom Gilligan's Island, Dawn Wells. And then I cut it into, it kind of reads as Dawn Wells found the other shooting victim dead in a nearby car, was identified Friday as Jermaine Lee Morris Jr., 20 of Lamarck, Jerk said, okay. Or Burke said, I don't know, but Cordell Roshan Stewart, 21 of Texas City, is charged with murder. Now on Gematria, remember, you got to kind of do weird things with the numbers because to get them to show up, because or else it'll just add them all up and it won't show up the way that you wrote it. So that's why I put the 21 like that. But there's different ways to do it. Zero, it won't count it as anything. So I use a O, like the letter O for zero. That's just like a little trick with gematria. But so that equals Kemer, wine, Hebrew 2561, 32881 reverse trigonal, 1357 reverse single reduction, and 19309 English extended. Now, all this is on gematrinator.com, okay? That's where you can find all this. I just do it basic, I don't really connect all the dots with it. I just do the basic stuff. But that Cordell Rochon Stewart kind of means the 28, the 48, and the L.H. Oswald, which is the Fletcher, that building in Indianapolis, which is now the Salesforce building. But, so you get these numbers here. 63.49, that number there is the ciphers times the ciphers, okay? The ciphers together times ciphers. So I thought that was interesting. So I'm calling that BB. And then the AA 27138, that's numbers from yesterday and the day before even, kind of showing where we're at with stuff. And so the AA divided by BB, you get 427, that number there. So take a look at these numbers, okay? And then I've got a creature here. What it is, it's a mix and it's humanoid with nose as 12. And 12 was all this up here. That's the nose. So the nose is like a spiritual nose, like, I don't really know what it looks like exactly, but I know that the nose is this gematria phrase spiritually. So, and it plays out physically, in any way you can imagine it. God will put that together. I didn't really see it exactly. It could be like it could look like a gorilla nose mixed with a, Emperor Tamarin nose or something, like, you know what I'm saying? Like a different monkey nose or something. But this is a humanoid type creature, so it won't be too outlandish. So what you get is Sphodromantis gastrica. That's one part of this creature. Thermozomium Isaki is another part. Firebeard dwarf of Middle Earth. That's from J.R.R. Tolkien mythology. Harch, Star Wars. That's from George Lucas mythology. And this is all mixed, and it's humanoid with noses 12, okay? And that 12 is up there. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 5, count the nose. And that's what that creature is. So have a good night. Thank you. And keep a mercy mindset. And this is a it creature. What we're doing is we're putting all the pieces together of the it, or the et, the object of the verb. It's kind of the hidden part of the Bible that relates to kind of the clown in the It film, but it's not like that though. Like, it's not scary, it's just like, it's mentioned in Isaiah 51. It's mentioned in Zechariah, it's mentioned all throughout the Bible, the judgments on the nations. It says God will bring it against them. So it's kind of like a gambit, like it's a gambit, if that makes sense. Like, it's not the werewolf, it's not the vampire. It's kind of in between, And the clown means that it can be whatever. Like, it's like makeup for an act in a play or something. Like, it can be whatever it wants to. Like, it's kind of that hook, like it's kind of the Samoan. But the makeup can also be a a spirit, like Maida with Buddy in that teen scene. That kind of represents the opposite of the beautiful Native American spirit that is natural. Maida kind of represents the opposite of that for sacred women and stuff. Nothing against her. She's cool, it's all good. But it's kind of like, that is the difference. So, and that can even be, it can even be, felt or read as almost a manly, persona. And that is conflicting, in relationships and stuff. That's kind of what that means that's why, the ones that battle it and aren't okay with it, are the ones who have spiritual weapons and stuff and are the new Jews, through the pointillism. The new Jews now are kind of the Reds, is how it is, like Red in America, the exiles, and that they change their body sometimes, or just change how they feel, through getting out of the system, getting cut off. Like they change, I know it's crazy, but this is how I have felt through this game, like just discovering things day by day. But I don't think it's all of them. Some of them, it's just their gravity. They have a Magaran, or they have a dead thing. Waters of the deep will bring forth dead things. Well, the thing kind of means like your willy or whatever, like your private part. Like it's their gravity. So some, they keep that gravity, or they get a new thing stapled on, like they have all that tech now. So you can't doubt this stuff, but like, for me, it's been my gravity. I don't have feelings for the same sex or whatever. Like it's my gravity that makes me, it's gravity. So it makes you get persecuted and stuff. Like it's different, and like, so some, it's the gravity, and that's all in the garden in Genesis 2. But for some, I think it's that they are like the red hook, in the sense of, they have different feelings than what their body is, and they don't like it. So then they get, like these elders and stuff, like they'll get them out of the system and then help them out. And who are the elders getting their orders from? Like, most likely Jesus, guys. Like, I don't think it's Satan. I don't. So, anyway, but there's different factions, don't get me wrong. See, sometimes on this channel, I'll get stuck on one thing, but like, it's many different things going on. And like you'll hear somebody on the radio and they might be in a group by themselves, and they made it somehow. Like but what I'm saying is, like, I don't think how I used to look into this stuff that it's all evil, I think that they have to show the symbolism, and if their symbolism is good, like the ones I'm getting persecuted against are people that aren't, that don't have that gravity and aren't, like Samoan in that sense, and aren't, with those feelings. Like, they're like actors in another sense of like being like a fallen angel. Like they're all they care about is how to steal from you. That's the feeling I get, is how can they steal from you and get you to lash out? And then like people like this, and this guy could be innocent. I don't know. His picture kind of looked innocent almost, but they get him to lash out. And that's what we need Jesus for, to pray and to help us with faith alone, that we can get through all this and not lash out. So thank you.